Yo, Tony D. Got a mega pile. Hope you enjoy it. Get some information out of it. Just sharing, you know what I'm saying? X-Men 18. MacKay's doing a good job on this. Love the Stegman art. I don't think he's doing the interiors though, but still the art holds up. Love that villain Wire. I thought that was a new villain, but actually first appearance was in Alpha Flight. Can't remember what issue. It don't matter. But good artwork by Laiso. Doing a good job. Good pencils. Good colors too, by the way. Love the 3K. Totally enjoying it. Hopefully it keeps up with the 3K. I think this issue wrapped that up a little bit. I think 19 will start a new story run, but 3K is definitely here to stay. I'm glad. That whole group. And it's still mysterious. You really don't know everyone's power set to their fullest extent. You got a little niblet of it. A glimpse. That Wire guy. It prompted me to do some research, go back, look at some old issues, got me in the back bins. I live in the back bins. I love it. I didn't realize that he was writing on Moon Knight as well. I'm enjoying this run. I'm a huge Moon Knight fan. I'm partial to the Knight. Good artwork. I like the way the white is portrayed. It's hard to explain. It's a glowing white, maybe. It's different. I need to research and see how they're doing that. That's an interesting technique, but it gives Moon Knight, I love how he's dark underneath the white. That's a good costume for him. And he's a badass, total. And I love all the other supporting characters. It's really a weird thing because you have 8-Ball, come on. But I love these Z-list. He was a villain, now he's redeeming himself. I love it when they're in a magazine on a consistent basis. Love the Z-list guys, give them some love. Love the vampires. They're pretty tough, especially Soldier. That's a cool name. He has a good ensemble here. It's really a group book right now. It's not really just Moon Knight. It's not like Justice League or Avengers, but it's definitely a group book. All the characters have a meaning in here, and I do love this villain, how he's an Asgardian. Probably a weaker Asgardian that has come to Earth to be a big fish in a small pond, if you catch my drift. He was probably a small fish in the Asgardian pond. Now he's a big fish on Earth. Maybe Thor will get involved, give him a little thumping. Moon Knight's hanging in there. That shows you how tough he is, resilient. He ain't letting anything slide. He doesn't care how powerful you are. He'll find a way. When I was a younger kid, I remember seeing it on the spinner racks. I was pretty enamored by it, especially, I didn't think it at the time, but I think in my mind it was a Batman thing, seeing that. Kind of the opposite of the Dark Knight, a White Knight. Who knows? Absolute Flash. Love my Flash. Huge Flash mark. Do love the Gorilla Grodd. They're saying that Barry Allen is dead. He's seeing visions of Barry. I think Barry Allen was going to be the Reverse Flash, but I think he's going to be the Death Racer, which is cool. The Rogues are always a huge part in Flash comics, and they're really bringing that here. And Grodd seems to be, I love it how he's an innocent little creature, and they're bonding big time. That I did a video on some absolute stuff. It was actually a local comic shop haul. I bought the 3 Mark Spears connecting covers, but just to segue into this book, you're starting to see characters like, this is the Elastoman in the canon universe. It'll just be interesting how they incorporate these characters, because right now you're seeing them, but there's a different angle, a different perspective on who and what they are, really. Feelings as well. Grodd, he's very emotional. He's attached to Barry right now. Grodd is still under control of the corporation that had him as an experiment. And I don't think Grodd knows it, but oh yeah, this issue really kicked up. Yeah, I'm giving you some heavy niblets. This lady, she's a Thawne. I'm thinking Reverse Flash. Good. That's a good twist on the canon Reverse Flash. I think this is going to work. This is going to be interesting is what I'm saying. I'm going to get the Flash books no matter what. You have Project Firestorm. And they're doing this in the Batman book as well, just giving you written words. Check out Absolute Batman. There's a huge one in there. I can't remember what issue it's on, but it's huge. And it's really just they show you the character barely, but they show a name tag, Weather Wizard, Heat Wave, we know that. Not sure about the XXX. I don't know. I can't figure out which one that is. I love comics where you have to figure stuff out. But yeah, they run into Heat Wave. Great drawing. I like how he's a melting man type thing. It's cool. Oh, and they're also in a town called Iron Heights. And if you know the Flash, you know that's the prison. That's interesting to make a town the prison. I love how they're doing everything. Lemire, yeah, he's a good writer. He did the writing on that Animal Man run. That was really good. I have that run in the Mega Shop, and it's a good story. That was back when they were heavy into the red, the green, all that stuff, those powers. Spent a little time on that one. The Avengers, love the Masters of Evil, every incarnation of them. I do love the villain Hyde. He's a big part of this. The Mad Thinker. You have a good collection of villains. They need to pick it up, though, I think. MacKay is doing this as well. This is probably the first time I've paid attention to the writers and what the other things they're writing. These guys are busy. That's pretty insane. But Avengers, not too bad. They do need to pick it up. Hopefully they will. They gave us in the beginning, you had a lot of Kang stuff going on, like a premonition. Kang shows up and tells them a bunch of stuff that's going to happen. They're really getting lost in that. And I don't know why. We'll see what MacKay does. He's a good writer. A little trust. This one right here, I'm not digging this. It ain't resonating with your boy. In the beginning it did. The artwork was on point in the beginning. Camp is a writer. I'm not crapping on him, but I get it. Some books can be a slow burn, but you got to keep me hooked even in that slow burn. Just give me a little bit of niblet. And they give a little in the past issues, but it's really fading. But I'll keep buying it. I was a huge mark for the old Ultimates universe. I'm going to do a video. I have the comic books, but I also have the trade paperbacks. I'll probably do the trade paperbacks, break my pattern here just to, I don't know, give a big overview of the old Ultimate Universe. Maybe we have new readers that just really don't know about it. Give them some info, but not really a spoiler, but Iron Lad is really, he's been modified to a point where he's transhuman now with technology. Pretty much he can interact with whatever technology is there. Now, okay, here's a little niblet that can keep you coming back. They do something with Hammond here, and I love this droid. They do portray him very well in the book. I know I said this isn't resonating, but there are some sprinkles in here that are interesting. And I do love the Maker. That's a top villain for me. He's creepy, dude. I love an eerie villain. And he's so smart that anything can happen. He can be doing something that's part of a plan, lose, and then that's part of a bigger plan, if that makes sense. Another little niblet is the Wasp is, this isn't a spoiler, I don't think. It was in a previous issue where she's a double agent. So that's not good. And I do want to see her take on the Hulk. Hulk pretty much handled her, but she's got a lot of passion. Iron Man does mention that he talked to the gods. This is interesting. Maybe it's Zeus. There was a time where I would let it go, where this would meet my criteria to quit buying, but I'm at a point now in my collecting career where I do have complete runs of things, and I don't know. I might give it to my nephew when I'm done with it. He's a young cat. He may like it. I give him books. I always look at it and he's just like me. Exactly. And I thought that was real trippy where he was, hey, there's nothing going on the cover. There, I have a video out there of him reviewing, I believe, Spider-Man 13, some Frank Miller covers, and a Liefeld. Gosh, I can't remember the Liefeld book we reviewed, but he was making comments. There's nothing going on the cover. There's no fighting. That's exactly how I was. But Detective Comics. This one is funny. They inject some serious humor in here. The issue before this, now I'll say this. The issue before this one was very dark, very noir, had that noir feeling. The artist is really doing a lot of Jim Aparo type silhouettes, but the Penguin has some funny stuff to say in here. There's some lighthearted stuff, but look at that shot. That's great. I might continue reviewing this series. There was a horror element to the issue before this that really hooked me. But this one it's more funny than anything. I'll give you an example. There's one. Love Cities. You got the bats flying around. The funniest thing in here was, let me find him, you'll get a kick out of it. Batman's talking to Oracle, and Penguin makes a comment about it. I don't want to spend too long. Oh, here's some great shots of Batman. Check it out. I love the silhouettes. I love the minimalism. It just, I don't know. Right there, look at that. The menacing. It's great. I do love when the cape is rendered in a different way. There's some flowing there. I need to do some research on this artist. Kind of see if there's influences. And look how it changed from very dark. This is interesting how we go very dark. That's what I'm talking about. Very dark to, it starts, you got some grays now. You're getting some color pop in there. And then it's bam. It turned into interrogation room. Great segue. But the funny part I was talking about, Batman is holding his finger to his ear, and Penguin is, people think you do that just to make other people think you're really talking to someone. It was funny. I'll keep going. I might review this one, keep the review going. I don't want to get too, I'm doubling up on some reviews. A lot of arcs are like 5 that I'm running into, 3 to 5. Books, these modern books, I think they can go pretty long. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have some old Legends of the Dark Knight reviews coming up that I totally enjoyed doing. I had fun. That's what it's about. I'd love to hear what other people think about that. I didn't get into it when it first came out. It is some deep stuff in some of those stories. Good stuff. Wolverine. Kokolo is doing the covers. Martin Kokolo. He's got a good style. Pena is doing the interior art. Now, Saladin Ahmed doesn't resonate with me really hard, but I'm a mark for Wolverine. This one has a hook to it. I was shocked that it's a decent hook. It's keeping me going. A little spoiler action. Wolverine's in his old home. Ran into a couple of villains. I'm starting to sniff out Mr. Sinister because, spoiler, click off if you don't want to know, but he's smelling his mother, and how they lean, the author is really leaning heavy into his sense of smell. They really get into that. That's a big part of Wolverine. And the flood of emotions are just coming back to him, getting him off guard, and then grim stuff. He can smell Sabretooth, and this is a Sabretooth thing. But here's the thing, is it Sabretooth? You don't know. And then he sees the ghosts of his real father and his stepfather. That's rendered very well. Pena's a good artist. We'll see how it goes. I won't spoil the very end of it for you. I do Sabretooth. I like the obsession he has with Wolverine, and obsession is a huge piece in comics that can drive a narrative to be really interesting. Obsession is a powerful thing. It's to find an unhealthy fixation on something. Sabretooth has that with Wolverine. And with unhealthy fixations, you have drama. Frank Teran. I had to pick this up. Very fine condition, sweet spot for my reading. I'm cool with a fine condition comic. Frank Teran, I'm collecting all the covers that he's done. Some of the covers he did are not, he didn't do the interior pencils, but I love the covers. And this is a case of me being a cover lover. Like this one. I believe this is the fake Punisher. I'll give you some niblets. I'll hook y'all up. That's actually pretty good artwork. Rod Whigham doing pencils. Not familiar at all, but this is how I expand my horizons. I'm digging that artwork. Good line work in the muscles. Good figure drawing. These guys are masters at figure drawing. Not bad. I'll definitely read it. I read everything I buy, but I do tape them up because I want maximum protection. And another point, when I quote prices, I'm not doing it to flex. I'm just giving you some information. Maybe you want to, maybe you're going to the comic shop. Maybe it helps out. We all do our research, man. We all got to watch our budgets. You know what I'm saying? It's important. I'll throw it up on the screen, what titles I'm getting. But what I love about my local comic shop, there's things I won't buy that come out that week, and I'll get them at the local comic shop. An example is I bought all the Spears connecting covers that just came out. And this is, I think it's the week of June 23rd. I love my comic shop. Shout out to them. They've been good to me, but I do want to support local business. I think I have a good balancing act with that. Frank Teran, good stuff. Big pile. I don't know, maybe you got some info that helps you out, but you know what we do. We get it. Outro.